2, 1.
Here we go!
Welcome to Sorare in the States Football. Here are your hosts, the Taco Slayer Jorge and MLS Card Guy Chris.
Whoa, buddy. So we're in the States. Back
Who is this Chris
again. I didn't even get that. I didn't even introduce you. All right. I don't even know who's here sitting in front of me.
My name is Thor, the god of love and thunder.
Oh, good old fat beer drinking loving Thor. I love it.
Mhm.
We are all vibes today, baby. Crypto is pumping because we're all rich now. You know what? We're all rich and gluttonous because crypto is pumping. But you know, it's all come down to this because 34 games have passed. This is America. It's the playoffs, baby. Whoo! One team gets all the glory while the rest go home and cry into their bowl of ice cream.
Whoa, too soon. Too soon. guy.
Oh man, I love how
Oh.
you knew exactly where I was going to throw that to because
Yeah. Oh,
we have, even though the playoffs are starting this week, rest in peace, Charlotte, in the play-in games in the wild card, but also Chris or Thor, whatever you want to go by in this episode. You have also
Thor.
had a run in, Thor. You have also had a run in with the playoffs early. How's that going for the Riverhounds, bud?
just so mean. So mean. I don't even know why I come down from Asgard and I even come on this show because I just get bullied all the time. That's all that happens.
Listen,
We lost. It's a thing. It happened.
oh, in the first round at
It
home.
was not good. Not good at all. It was not fun.
Listen,
Not a
I
fun
don't.
day. It was
I
a
don't
fun
bring
day,
it-
actually, to be fair, because it was a packed house, stadium attendance record. But like, you just didn't win the game. Like, that's soccer. That happens.
Yep,
Shit
no. I don't bring it up to make fun of you. I really don't. I have slowly become a Riverhounds stan myself due to Chris and Alec working there. I wanted to bring it up because I wanted to hear about it. Like, obviously, you put in a lot of work. You got to
Yeah.
pack that stadium out. How was it? How were the vibes? Were the vibes good? Like, was the game? Did the players just not show up?
I mean,
Kinda-
yeah,
kinda
the
what
stadium
happened?
was more packed than my stomach in this sweatshirt. So it was yeah, stadium attendance record. It was a whale of a night. Not a lot happened in the first half, so like the crowd wasn't fully into it, and then we got them into it a little in the second half, and then yeah, they scored just a super lucky worldy goal that like there's nothing you can do about.
Ugh.
And then we had, you know, two glorious chances and couldn't put either away. So that's a thing. It happens. It's kind of how it goes when a team that can't score and plays good defense. You know, that's every Detroit game basically. And either they lose 1-0 or they win 1-0. That's kind of how they play. So obviously not the way you want to end, but there's a lot of momentum that we built this year, and we've got some really freaking cool things coming over the next few years. So yeah, stay tuned. This is not the peak. This is the beginning. You know?
That's the way to look at it. And yeah, very soon we're going to get into the world of hurt for MLS clubs. But before we get into that, we'll do a deep dive. We'll fill out some brackets. We'll go over some things. We'll maybe go over some defensive stacks that you might want to hold on to, might carry you the whole way. But first, there is a little bit of sober news, Chris. There is a little bit of things happening, which we've seen it in the basketball side, and there's a lot of talk. There's a lot of talk about rewards, right? And market going down. You're giving too much away, but you're not giving us enough, and we're not happy. So here's this
Here we
Halloween
go.
special happening this weekend where, Chris, we are starting to get more and more competitions that are not just card rewards, but now you are winning other things like signed jerseys and so
That's
rare
sick.
hats.
There you go. I'm here
Are you
for
ex-
it.
Yeah, we're here for it.
100%. Instead of just giving it to the two people that have robots that can buy all this shit when it comes out in the first 35 seconds, not even 35 seconds, in the first 10 seconds. Yeah, let's make people win it. And I love that it's just like a random rules thing, like a misprint or bugged card. The one, like the asterisk there, I don't love. Like any lineup must include a misprint card as determined by Sorare. Like, what if I think it's a misprint and Sorare's like, nah, bro, that doesn't count. Like, what about Nkosi? So I have a Nkosi Tafari card, right?
Right.
And on there it says, I think, Nkosi Burgess, which is not the name that he goes by anymore. So like, I think it's a misprint, but like, does Sorare think that's a misprint? I don't know. Is there a place I can get a ruling before I enter this lineup and then get it? And then I freaking win one thing in my whole life, and then it gets invalidated because that wasn't actually a misprint.
Well, see, it's perfect. It's a Halloween special, right? Like we're getting a little fancy, we're getting a little weird, right? It's Halloween, but guess what? If they don't like your costume, you're not getting any candy. So the price of admission is what you think is a misprint card, and it's up to Sorare to be like, you know what, this guy can play or not. Sorare, really, you're just setting yourself up for a lot of backlash and a lot of negative feedback, like leaving it so open. But like at the same time, like it's cool, right? They're giving us something. We're having fun. I
like the idea. I just wish there was more. Like, there should be, if you're gonna say like this thing, there should be a thing where you can submit and say, is this a misprint? And they can rule on it before the game week opens, you know?
Okay.
Like, it shouldn't be like, oh, well, if you win a reward, then we'll look at your lineup and see if it's a misprint. Like, no, I want to know if they're misprints or not, you know?
And I love that they give examples, but they give like the very extreme dramatic examples too, where it's like, look, clearly these, but no. We need to know like the finite, the minuscule. Like, I remember when baseball came out, there was like smudges on some of the cards. Like it looked like someone put like a thumbprint on the cards, or like, I think I bought one and I remember sending one to, I think I sent it to Alec. I was like, have you seen this before? Is this normal? Like, what is this? Did I just score gold? Am I rich? No, I really wasn't, but it's cool. I mean, first through 30th, get a Champ Europe signed jersey, which is huge. That's huge. And then, another, 20 people get a Sorare hat. So, yes, I do agree with their.
How many competitive lineups are there going to be, do you think?
That's the question, too, is how many people actually have a misprinted card enough? I know Sorare Data, Laird, and I think Andy maybe were going through like misprints the other day, too, like literally last week or something like that. And there's one person who has a majority of these.
All of them.
Yes, his entire gallery is focused on misprint cards. It was incredible, right? But there's that edge, and it's a matter of, do you have one of these, and
how do you find one?
You got it. There was a Hector Herrera one once, and I just randomly stumbled upon it on auction, and I tried to go for it because I was like, nobody's gonna want this crap. No, I was severely outbid. It didn't go very well for me. They actually do kind of sell for a premium sometimes, so it's actually it's pretty intriguing stuff. But
that's cool.
I love misprint cards. If I could, I'd get my hand on these a lot more. But I don't know, they're fun, right? Instead of staring at your gallery valuation, you stare at these misprinted cards and go, "Yay!"
Finally, this thing that I like because I'm weird is worth something. Yeah.
Yes, I think this is cool. I can't wait to see more of this. I don't remember if I said it. I've said it somewhere, maybe, I don't know, but I do think that with the NBA starting up too, we're going to start to get a little bit more of these. I think they're really going to start pushing the club shop, which we've talked about, and well, we're going to go from there. And okay, first of all, we are not doing this. Orlando City fan worst costume award. You hate to see it.
Wow.
Oh, already
got him.
Oh man, look, I
love this. I'm here for these comments. Let's go.
Listen, I picked the wrong day to wear purple because there's been a lot of drama on the timeline with Nashville going into these playoffs that I want no part of. It's all stupid. Look, I love banter, man. I love banter. But there's just people just take it too far sometimes. It's not even fun anymore. But we're not going to go into that. Chris, actually, you know what? We are going to pick on you. We got Thor here. We got the Riverhounds losing. And Chris, what is going on with our private league, which is now over? And who is that at the top?
Now we got to talk about this dude. Come on.
Buddy,
he's posting stuff about me on Twitter now, or X, or whatever it's called. And it actually came up on my feed as explicit content, which I love. It was like, be careful, you may not like this. And I was like, oh my God, this is perfect. But yeah.
Oh man.
I kind of called him out at the beginning of the competition.
Like day one.
Oh yeah, like I know more MLS than this dude. He's watching more Cecina than anything else. Like he didn't care about MLS. And then he cheated his way to winning somehow. I don't know how he did it, but I know he cheated.
By 23 points. He took it down by 23 points. That's
who would have thought that Red Bulls would actually be good? Like who would have thought that Red Bulls would get in this thing? So he's got the Red Bull defensive stack. Ho, too soon. Yeah, Yeah, we'll get there. I think Hoodwink and Trippin' B should have a little head to head.
A little clash here.
Yeah,
going?
a little head to head going. But yeah, fun league for sure.
No,
where did I finish? Hold on. Where did you finish?
47. So
That's not bad.
No, it's pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie. After the whole Leagues Cup, like when we started it, and there was the whole Messi thing, where is Messi hurt? Is Messi not hurt? Is Messi gonna play? I took a DMP because of Messi. I swapped Messi out, made some other moves, and at the same time, back to back, I took a DMP from Alan Polito with a random rotation. And after that, it was all downhill. I didn't think that I could compete. I was steadily in the top 10 for a little bit, hanging out in a little private league, and yeah, I slipped out and I kind of just stopped trying. So I did slip out. Shout out Mr. Speed,
You were
hangs
47.
out in the Discord, by the way.
Shout out. Good job, Mr.
Shout out
Speed.
to him. Great guy.
Love that guy. You were 47. I ended up 49th. So
I still
you beat me by 17 points.
Oh man.
To be fair, once I saw Hoodwink above me, pretty much my life just ended at that point, and I just, what are you gonna do?
Ooh, Trippin' B with a good old 69. Nice.
Oh, shout out Trippin' B.
Shout out Trippin'
My
B
guy.
with a good old 69. Boy.
Wow.
Whatever. It was
did
fun
that on purpose. He didn't start lineups after he got to number 69 or some shit. Like he wanted that 69.
No, he really did. But it was fun. The private league, it actually, I ended up caring about it a little bit more than I did. Like I was really sweating the amateur things, but it almost feels like it's hard to keep attention during a private league like that. I had made a few posts on Twitter. We're trying to really kind of promote it and get some people hyped about it. Happy Thursday, y'all.
Happy Thursday.
And
Thursday. This is my day.
Oh, okay, buddy.
Take
whatever.
that and like it.
Yeah, okay, whatever. But yeah, no, I wanna do it again next year, but I want to try to find more ways to make it engaging. I don't really know what it is. Maybe throw a little bit more money down and have a little bit more crazy prizes at the top where people
whoever finishes first gets to tell whoever finishes last what to do each week. Like it should be like we should do like a smaller league of just like just the guys that were on the show that we did a few weeks ago. That was just like the 9 or 8 of us or whatever. And we just go head to head, and like everybody's forced to put in a lineup each week, and everybody like whoever finishes last has to do some punishment on camera.
I like that. Yeah, no, there's definitely ways to make the private leagues fun. There's a lot you can do with it, right? But it's just I guess it comes down to us too. There we go. Perfect. First place gets a guest appearance.
That would be fun.
Stream.
That'd be a lot of fun.
See, that is fun.
Then we can get their secrets and actually learn how to play the game. Because
and then
clearly neither one of us knows how to do that.
No, but it's definitely. I think I'm going to try to find ways in the off season to make the private league a little bit more engaging, a little bit more fun, or yeah, even that, just doing a little smaller ones, a little shorter time frame ones, but really kind of put a little bit more stakes on the table. I think it'd be a lot of fun. So
1 week winner take all. 1
week winner take all. I'm okay with that. I like that.
The winner gets to come to Jorge's house.
Oh, I don't like that. All right, well, moving on. The MLS playoffs.
Lay some tile at Jorge's house. That's your prize.
Actually, if you do want to come help finish the shower in the master bedroom, there's a lot of tiling that needs to be done in there. So hit your boy up. You know what I'm saying? But Chris,
MLS. We have a bracket.
We have a bracket. We had the play-ins that happened last night. As the time that we're recording this, we had the play-ins last night. We had a little Red Bull
banger
action against Charlotte and Sporting Kansas City and San Jose. Real quick, we're gonna touch on them too much because, quite frankly, one, I didn't watch them because I was at the Magic game. Go Magic! NBA's back, and
ooh.
I'm gonna keep saying it. I'm gonna keep
saying
it.
NBA, not the Magic. I like the Magic.
But SKC and San Jose with a thrilling 0-0 draw.
That's how I thought our game was gonna go. To be fair, I thought, boy, we're destined for PKs at 0-0 here because there's nothing happening.
Oh man, yeah. It's kind of expected. SKC has been a little up and down this season, and San Jose is just San Jose. So there was that.
So how about this? We get 2 teams from the same state playing each other in the first round.
A derby. Very
This
early
is
on.
wild.
It is.
Who'd have thought the middle of nowhere Missouri would have two teams that would play each other at the MLS Cup playoffs?
And we literally have the
Not
1
me.
seed and the 8 seed. Literally, just full spectrum, front to back. You're getting it. St. Louis and Kansas City. And on the other side, another thriller, a 7-goal thriller. You got to think this game, just crazy, just goals. All for the Red Bulls and not for Charlotte.
Tons of goals. It was a
Tons of
great
goals.
game for one team.
For one team.
Oh,
5-2.
has
Charlotte.
anybody checked on Trippin' B? Is he still alive?
I have not. I do
Mm.
wish him well. I do. It would have been a little bit more fun for Charlotte to actually be in the playoffs. I was rooting for Charlotte, not just because, screw the Red Bulls, whatever. But I think it would have been more fun. And both of these teams were really just they were stuff. They were stuffing things. But I don't know. How are you feeling? Did this play out the way you thought it was going to play out?
Yeah, I mean, the home team won both games, right? So
That's true.
I feel like that's kind of how it was going to go. I don't know that San Jose was really like that great.
Right.
And KC's been hot and Red Bulls have been hot. Like they're the two hotter teams of the two as well. So yeah, I mean, I can't say that I'm super surprised. I was a little surprised that Red Bull just blew the doors off of Charlotte.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I can't say I'm surprised with who actually moved on.
I will say though, San Jose needing a better forward than Abobasi is kind of true and kind of not, because Abobasi went on. Abobasi can score,
right?
But it kind of fell off. He fell off at the end of the season. He tailed off. He started off hot, and granted, the entire team did. But yeah, it just Abobasi.
He's very hot and cold. Yeah.
I feel like he's always been that way his whole career, right? Even when he was in Portland, like he would show up and be awesome, and then
oh my god, he's on the U.S. national team. Oh my god, like he hasn't scored in 3 months. Kind of Daryl DK-esque. Except normally it's DK's injuries that hold him back.
I was about to say.
But to be fair, it's normally Abobasi injuries that hold him back too.
That is
very
true.
Similar players.
Yeah, American forwards, man. Jordan Morris went over, got hurt. Paul Arriola, I think, went over and got hurt. Pulisic was hurt for a long time at Chelsea. It's just happened. Tyler Adams is hurt again. It just can't stay healthy, man. But Chris, we do have the MLS playoffs. We have the full bracket. We do have a bracket. Chris, have you filled out your bracket on MLS.com?
But we're doing this live, baby.
Yeah. Listen, I thought
this is Thor's bracket, by the way. I get a different bracket.
Oh, okay. All right. 2 for 1. Hey, maybe we'll run another contest. Look, after this show, we're going to post our brackets. We're going to go through the brackets. We're going to post them. If we get enough people engaging on our Twitter post and y'all drop your brackets, maybe we'll do a little contest, do a little giveaway at the end of the playoffs for whoever had the most accurate bracket. I don't know.
Absolutely know for a fact Hoodwink's not beating me in this.
Okay, buddy. You said that the last time too.
Hoodwink may know, like, he may have gotten lucky with New York Red Bulls being like the greatest team of all time. So he better pick them to win the MLS Cup final. And they better win it, because otherwise he's not beating me.
Yeah, I try to think of multiple ways to kind of go through this playoff bracket, engaging and fun. And I was like, you know what? Let's just go through the brackets and we'll just we'll cross all the bumps and the bruises and we'll jump over all the hurdles that we need to along the way. Chris, are you ready with your MLS playoff bracket?
I'm ready.
Do you have it up?
Yes, but I have not shared on the screen.
Is checking everybody.
Yeah. So I am ready, but I'm also at the very same time not ready to gotcha.
So what you're telling me?
There it is. Yeah. No, we're back. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, we're good. It's
all
here.
Right.
It's all good.
Do you want to start off in the East or the West?
I read from left to right, so we're gonna start up in the top left corner, right?
Weird.
We're gonna start with the team that squeaked by on penalties, right? That's never a good sign. You got to play 2 games against these teams, right? That's something to consider in this too. You got to play 2 games. So I actually think we're not going to see many upsets in the first round. I think the 2-game thing is going to really like get some of the better teams through. So I'm going to take St. Louis.
Okay.
And I don't think it's going to be that close.
Okay.
I don't
Okay.
know. We'll see.
All right. Let me. I'm going to stop you right there because I wanted to talk on this. Period.
One game in.
Yeah, one game. One game in.
Come on.
Listen, because I really want to talk because I think this is important that we really need to like talk this out because we mentioned it when they first announced the new playoff structure, right? And the whole round one wrinkle that they threw in, where it's now best of 3, it's home, and home for the first team, right? You got different legs. If the home team loses that first game, for whatever reason, because you got to think, even if they tie, they're going straight to penalties. No extra time, no nothing. We're just full-blown chaos, straight to pens. You lose that first game, you now got to go away and chase the game, right? Because you can't afford to lose away. So I think there's room for some upsets that people aren't ready for. We've talked about it. There are teams that can't defend at home. They're not going to defend away. You have the teams that are going to sit in and counter. Like we could talk about the whole Orlando-Nashville thing where like Nashville is the perfect team to pull off an upset against Orlando because they score first and they just get to sit back and park the bus the other time and we have to try to break them down. Over 2-3 games, that's a lot to ask for from a Nashville team who's not going to score on you either, but they can defend the heck out of you. So it's going to be, I don't think like going straight for it and saying, oh, there's just not going to be a lot of ups in the first round. I don't know. I think it might be spicy. What do you think?
I think there's not that there's not going to be any upsets. I just think compared to what we would expect from a 1-game, 1-off playoff, I think having that cushion is actually going to help. It's going to help the mental, like say you go down 1-0 in the 30th minute at home.
Mm-hmm.
You're not like, oh, fuck, season's over. We got to score now. And you send it all forward. You're like, okay, we just got to play our game. Even if this doesn't work, we still got another chance. It's all good. Like that, like just mental hurdle, I think is actually super helpful as far as like teams actually coming back within that game. And then even if you do lose, like you legitimately still do have that cushion where you could go on the road and win.
Yeah, but that's I feel like that's
it's difficult
mentally to say, oh wait, we got to go on the road because we fucked up at home. Now we got to go on the road and actually get it done. Well, they're probably going to sit back at home too. Especially you got to think if the first team away wins that first game, that second game they are parking it. They are just going to sit back and just.
And I think if you park it, I think you are eventually going to give up a goal, right? Like I just don't think that's a long-term strategy. It's like the more you play, the more soccer that is played, the more the better team is going to come out on top. That's my basic like general thing. So when we get to one-off games, like a lucky goal can decide the game. Whereas when we're playing a best of 3, a lucky goal may decide the one game, but it might be that the other team is just better and wins the other 2 anyway.
Okay.
You know, so just like that's just my general like read on it. Is like one goal doesn't necessarily decide it unless it's like a 1-game, 1-off. So I think in the first round, we're going to get less upsets than more.
Okay. All right. That's fair. I mean, not that I see SKC upsetting St. Louis in any way, but I wanted to get it out of the way early.
It's a valid point because everybody always goes, oh, I'm just going to pick all the chalk teams and all the better teams are all going to win all the time.
We're all the home teams.
And that's just not how it works. Like that's not playoffs at all. It's like matchups, it's individual matchups, it's head to head. It's not like, hey, I would beat 10 of the teams and you would beat 7 of the other teams, and therefore I'm a better team than you. That's true in the regular season, but that is not how that is not how these playoffs work, right? It is 1-to-1, head to head, my guys against your guys on one specific day. And so you get these one-off like think about like the Miracle on Ice movie, right? Where it's like if we played them 10 times, they might win 9, but not tonight. Like that's legitimate. Like that's a thing. And that's what you get with these playoffs, right? So yeah, I think we're gonna see less in the first round. I'm definitely picking more like chalk in the first round. And then it's gonna get more spicy, I think, after that. Having said that, one of the teams that I know is going to choke is Houston, so I'm picking RSL.
What?
I've watched too much Ben Olsen over the years to know that they're not winning in the first round. They're just going to get knocked out in the first round.
Dead. This bracket
and I
dead.
get that it's RSL and like that's probably the best matchup for them. But like this is just Ben Olsen. This is what Ben Olsen does. And if they don't win, if they win this, then they're definitely losing a one-off in the next round.
And that's
against
with
whoever
Houston.
this team is.
That's with 2 Houston home games. You think RSL's going to do it?
Correct.
Wow.
Yeah, because it's also not 100 degrees in Houston anymore. And I think RSL is almost guaranteed to win the home game because it's higher altitude. And
that is a hard one. But dude, Houston just.
I think this is a 3-gamer. Like I do think Houston wins one of the first 2, but I do think RSL gets through. And I think also whoever wins this matchup wins this matchup too. If that makes sense. Like whoever wins this one is getting knocked out here. Even if it's SKC against Houston.
Not even. If SKC gets through, they are not knocking out Houston or RSL.
Fighting Ben Olsen's will always disappoint you in the playoffs. I've been through this enough times to know this, okay? There are some things that just aren't ever going to happen. And Ben Olsen's making a run in the playoffs is one of those things. He's won the Open Cup. He's done that before. That's a thing. It's not knockout games in general. It's just playoff games. So we're taking RSL.
The show's over.
Cut the stream.
You don't got to go home, but you can't stay here. You're done.
All right. Second, the Fighting Vanny Sartinis. I love the Fighting Vanny Sartinis. But this is one of those, like, there's too much soccer to be played for LAFC not to. I mean, they're just flat out the better team, so I'm going to take them. This is a very close series. Like, I do think this is going to be a really, really close series. I
struggle with this one.
I could 100% see Dallas winning this series, but
so does JVic. I don't know about the LAFC thing,
and I 100% get where you're coming from. And if they win this, I could 100% see them winning this too. Like, it's just about, can Dallas actually score a freaking goal?
That's the thing. And Seattle, where they've had their question mark, and I've been down on Seattle too, like, they're still really good defensively. Stephen Fry, as old as he is, he put up a crazy year.
They control the ball in the midfield so well that I can't see Dallas winning 2 games against Seattle. Like, if they get through this one, I could see them one-off just beating LAFC in a one-off game. Like, they score first, they get ahead, and they play defense. Like, could totally see that happening. But again, like I said, with these 2-game stats, like, you can't just score 1 goal and then sit back. Like, you have to win 2 games. Right. So I think Seattle eventually, even though it'll be very close, I think Seattle comes out.
And I struggled with this one too, but I agree with your Seattle pick only because both of these teams have been struggling, like, scoring.
Yes.
But they're decent
low
defensively
scoring series.
Too. So it's going to be low scoring. And if it goes to pens, I almost have the experience and the veteranship from Seattle to make it through those pens than I do Dallas. But I do agree, like, all 3 of the games
to some degree,
go to pens.
I could, like, Dallas has good, like, Martin Paz is a really good goalkeeper. And they've got like, both goalkeepers are really good, obviously. And then they've got, Velasco, Ferreira, Areola.
Right.
Those guys I trust. I don't who else is taking the pen. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
Like I could see like 2 of these 3 games going to penalties.
And I definitely have Seattle winning out in penalties over a FC Dallas. So
I think that's really close though.
Yeah, that one's hard.
Cincinnati Red Bulls is a really interesting one.
Oh, don't do it. Don't do it.
I'm really tempted to do it. I'm really, really tempted to do it. Not just because they won 5-2, but because, like, Red Bulls has a style that is, like, very much like they either win the game or they lose the game. It doesn't
literally,
like, there's no in between. So if they catch you 2 nights in a row, like, you're done. The problem is, I don't think their style works particularly well against good teams.
Especially with that Cincinnati midfield, they're not going to be able to.
But I'm scared about Cincinnati, man. Like, they're not hot anymore. Like, yes, they've been the best team all year, but they've struggled down the stretch. And yes, they've had nothing to play for, but
oops. Here's
Cincinnati.
So and I'll take the other side. I do fully believe that Cincinnati completely just decimates the Red Bulls, but
purely because of this. Hold on. Go ahead.
If you think of what the Red Bulls did to get here they beat Nashville on a penalty, like at the very last second of the game
Right.
to get in. There's your
lucky to be
there's
there.
your momentum swing, just fully lucky, last minute decision
Mhm.
day, sneaking in, and then just coming out and decimating Charlotte. They have the momentum.
RSL
right now
did that 2 years ago. Or was it RSL? Yeah, RSL did that 2 years ago. And they got all the way to the Western Conference Final, right?
Yeah.
Like
Right now, Red Bulls,
they
they're
lost
set
to
up to
Portland.
really go on a run because of how they
Yeah.
got here to this moment where, it's Red
Totally
Bulls,
fair.
baby.
Totally fair. And Cincinnati is not hot. Cincinnati is the same as New England was 2 years ago. And New England got a bye and then lost to Atlanta in their first game. The one saving grace, this is a 3-game series. So if they lose the first one, it's not necessarily just done. Like I could see Cincinnati losing the first one at home and then just crushing Red Bulls in the second 2 games. And
They've
just
been so good at
coming
home,
back. They have been really, really good at home. But I mean, I could still see a world where they lose the first game and still win the series.
I don't know the way John Tolkien's been playing. Like
Tolkien is crazy. Man.
You almost feel like he could do anything right now. Like he can single-handedly destroy the Cincinnati team twice if he wanted to. The way he's playing,
take the team on his back.
Yeah, I mean,
so Philly, New England. One team is going like this. One team is going like this.
No, they're going down fast.
Yeah, they're dropping like a rock. So I'm gonna take Philly. Who is even New England's coach right now? I don't even know.
Carlos Hill.
Yeah, there you go. Daddy and coach. I think that's it. I think this is like. I hesitate to say this, but I think this is the safest one for me. I think I'm most confident in Philly getting through.
So I was thinking the same thing, and as those words were coming to your mouth, I was like, "Great, that's the perfect game to bust everybody's brackets."
Yeah,
literally, that is
100%.
going to be the trap game right here, where New England and Chancalay has been awesome. You have Gustavo Bo, Carlos Hill. Realistically, they can do it, and
all of these teams are in the playoffs for a reason. Like they all have good stuff about them. So yeah, they could do it. They absolutely could do it. But I think this is like maybe 70-30 to New England or to Philly.
I wanted New England in the playoffs, so I agree. But if there was ever to be a trap game in the first round for like to destroy everybody's brackets, it's Philly, New England for sure.
I'm trying to think. This might be the trap game to destroy. I feel like a lot of people are going to pick Seattle.
Yeah,
a lot of people are going to pick Seattle.
That one's literally a coin toss, though.
And that's what I mean. Like I could see Dallas like winning that game, whereas I can't really see New England winning this game at least as much. Like it's sports, anything can happen, but like you get
true.
This
is probably one of my favorite matchups. To be
this
honest.
This is a freaking banger. Like I want to watch all 3 games of this series for sure.
Yeah, this one's tough. There's a lot that goes into this one that's like
so
spicy boy.
I think I'm still gonna take Columbus.
And Thiago Mata suspended for game 1.
Oh really? I did not know that.
He got a red card decision day, double yellow. So he's actually missing the first game.
That's actually crucial. Which makes me feel better about this. But I think Columbus is gonna win game 1 anyway, and Atlanta's gonna win game 2 anyway, and then it's gonna come back to game 3. And we're basically in a one-off playoff at that point. I don't know, man. I just think Columbus is one of my favorite teams. Like I really think that they have a good shot at this.
But I'll keep going.
Although I do like how good Atlanta's been playing recently, I haven't seen it from Atlanta like ever. So except for the 1 year they won the MLS Cup. You know?
Wow, we got a Columbus winning the whole thing in the chat. I
100%. I could see that. I'm down.
I'm so down on their defense and their just ability to leak goals as fast as they can put them in. That I think they're gonna get caught upside down in one of these. Or I truly believe yes, they can totally go on a run. Like Atlanta could bring it to them, but it's gonna be a lot of like 3-2s, 3-3s. And it's going to come down whoever scores that last goal. So there is a world where Columbus could just crash out of the playoffs. But at the same time, you can see him running away with the whole thing because nobody's stopping.
This is their toughest matchup. This is their toughest matchup. Like of any of the teams that are road teams, like Atlanta's by far the best.
Yeah. But
So,
again, Almada in the first one, can they come back?
yeah, that's huge.
The
That
second
is
one
huge.
being in Atlanta probably is their saving grace. That if they were hosting, might have been a little weird, but yeah, they might. That's gonna be a fun one.
Yeah, I'm still gonna pick Columbus. What am I gonna
Okay.
do here?
Oh, come on, you know what you gotta do, buddy.
Nashville. No.
I will end this stream right now.
I will end this stream
I will
right now.
I will press that button so fast.
Well, in the interest of all of you watching at home and not wanting to end the stream, I guess I'll get bullied into taking Orlando. Again, this is a 3-game series, so I think Orlando's better, and I think over 3 games it'll come out. If this were a one-off, I'd have it like 55-45 to Orlando. Like, it's close. It's close, but since it's 3 games, I think Orlando is going to slowly start to kind of assert their will, play their style. And I think eventually Orlando comes out of here.
That's right.
So
love it.
You can see I only picked one upset.
Not rigged. What are you talking about?
Only one upset.
That is very upsetting. I am very upset at that pick.
But just wait until the second round.
Oh, yeah? Oh, what do we got here?
All right. So round 2, St. Louis RSL. I already kind of gave this one away because I said whoever wins this matchup wins this matchup. So St. Louis wins. Just because I don't believe either of these 2 teams are any good. I think Vancouver's probably the worst, and then these are the second 2 worst. That I could see winning the Western Conference. Maybe SKC should be in there too. In that
I need you to put some respect on Brian White's name. I'm just going to keep saying that. So.
No. So St. Louis comes out of here, which is one reason why, and we may talk about this later, I think that Berkey, stack, the defensive stack with St. Louis, I think it's very safe because I do think they have a really good shot to at least get here.
Not even that. How many goals are getting scored on them with these teams?
Exactly.
SKC and RSL?
Berkey, legitimately is in the MVP conversation for the league. So, he's really good. This is a banger of a game. If we end up getting this is going to be absolutely sick, and it's a one-off. And it's in Seattle, right?
Is it? Yeah, it
Seattle's
is.
the 2 seed.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's in Seattle. How many teams go into Seattle and actually beat Seattle in Seattle? Dallas gets a chance at home. Seattle, this game would be in Seattle. And LAFC is going to do it. They're going to go into Seattle.
Wow, yeah.
And take
Golden Boot winner Buanga? Yeah.
Yeah. Cincy Philly rematch from last year of the 2 good teams from last year in the second round this time. I don't feel good about Cincy.
Yep.
I just don't think that they're going to have a long run. I don't know why. I don't know. I don't see it.
I think they're going to choke in the moment.
Yep.
And Philly just has the experience.
On Lucho Acosta too.
They're going to unleash.
If anything happens to Lucho Acosta, their season's over. And Vasquez has not been playing that well. I don't see it. I don't see how they do it.
This is the storyline, right? They told Bedoya to go fuck himself. So Bedoya is going to come out and be like, all right, watch this. They're going to do it. They're going to go on a run. Bedoya is going to start every game. He's going to have a decisive in every game. And we're going to see vintage Bedoya like he's 10 years younger. And I do
but
see.
This is what scares me. That's what scares me is somebody's going to have to be number 5. But hey, look at the USL. We were 13-1-3 at home and we lost in the first freaking round. So it can be done.
Really? We have a Celentano isn't that great. As a long-time Celentano supporter, how does that make you feel?
I've always been a Celentano supporter long-term, but I've never thought he was great right now. I really don't think he's elite right now. I think he will be elite. He's only 23. He just got drafted 2 years ago. I don't think he's that great right now. And I think he can be beat. I think he will be very good in the future, but I don't think he's there yet. So yeah, I don't think Salentano's that great. I do love that they got Nwobodo and Miazga and those guys in front of them because that helps a lot. Yeah, I'm also salty because of Alec Khan. 100%. I am in the same boat. So
that was
yeah,
last year's kind of big
be
thing, wasn't
warned.
it?
Yeah, we all got cons, and we were all rich in the preseason, and then he freaking got hurt, and this Celentano kid came out of nowhere, and I was gonna buy him, but they didn't release his cards before he started starting.
Is this even a question?
Sad.
You have to choose one player for one match.
Player for one match, Celentano or Guzan. Yeah, I'm taking Guzan right now.
Almost for the vibes.
I'm taking Guzan for the vibes. As long as it's not on turf and I know he's going to play the whole match. Like, there's a 50-50 chance he blows out his ACL during the game, but I'm taking Guzan. Do I have a good backup? Like, if I have a good backup, I'm taking Guzan for sure.
do you have the handcuff?
Yeah. Do I have a handcuff? But yeah, no, I don't think Salentano is that great. They do have good defensive pieces in front of them, but they're still so reliant on Lucho Costa. Vasquez hasn't been doing that well. So yeah, I think since he is more vulnerable than people would think and the record would lead you to believe, and I think Philly is that team that is starting to like win playoff games consistently. It's like Jim Curtin's got it figured out. And I always like to bet on those kinds of teams to just keep it rolling.
Well, I don't know, man. Cincy won three of their last 5, tied 1, lost 1, and Philly went in with 4 ties and 1 win in the last 5. So Cincy's in a little bit better form than Philly right now.
You got to beat them to get past them.
You do have to beat them to get past
unless you win in PKs. Joe Bendick is the backup. I'm still taking Guzan. I'm rolling the dice, baby. I don't care. Joe Bendick is always the backup. He's the backup for every team. Like, if anybody gets hurt, Joe Bendick's your guy. You know, that's actually a thing in MLS. Like, if you have like 3 keepers, and if 2 of them get hurt, there's like an MLS league.
Oh, there's a pool.
Yeah. That's a thing. That, like, literally his job is to be everybody's backup for the entire.
I'm pretty
team.
sure that's how Orlando ended up with Brian Rowe a few years ago.
Yeah,
it
gets used more often than you would think. Like, it happens at least 2 or 3 times a year where that guy gets used. And then this league. The next year, that guy ends up going to like some team or something.
Usually,
but yeah. All right, Columbus, Orlando.
Our friendship is on the line.
I'm about to break your heart. I'm taking Columbus. I'm sorry, man. Like I said, Columbus is one of my favorite teams. It's a one-off game too. Like, if they were playing 3 times, yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I might still take Columbus, but I think with a one-off game, granted it's in Orlando, but it's just too much firepower, man.
I agree. If there was one matchup that I didn't want, it would be Columbus and Orlando, because both times they played this year, they were thrillers. Orlando comeback. Like, this year, it was a 4-3 at home, and then away it was a 3-3 draw, where Orlando came back in the last like 5 minutes. So Columbus, well, listen, Orlando doesn't do too good with fast moving, tracking runners, behind the lines. Our center backs are a little slow sometimes. Shout out Robin Janssen, who deserves to win Defender of the Year. Either way, yeah, Columbus and Orlando, not the greatest matchup for us. So
right,
there is a world where I do see Columbus kind of just destroying us out of the playoffs. But being a homer, being the form that we're in right now, being
you
got to
pick your team. Yeah, I understand.
I do have to. I see the concerns. I will agree that it's not a for sure. Yeah, Columbus easy money, but it can happen. Orlando's winning the whole thing.
So if you'll notice, in this round, I picked 3 of the 4 underdogs. So I was right, where it's like, chalky underdogs. So now we're going to pick underdogs, right?
Oh,
we're going to pick this underdog for sure. And we're picking this underdog.
No, you're not doing a rematch, are you?
Rematch, baby.
Rematch.
It's rematch time. I mean, once you get to this point, like, the chances of this matchup specifically happening are pretty low, right? Like, St. Louis could get knocked out at any point here. LAFC
This is
could
Don
get knocked
Garber's
out at
league,
any point
baby.
out here.
It is totally happening.
But like, there's so many possibilities, right? When you get to this point. So I'm not picking this game based on who I think actually wins this game head to head. I'm picking this round and this round based on who I think actually has the best chance from these teams to win the whole thing, you know?
Okay.
Like
All right.
to actually get there. So I'm not specifically like looking at matchup versus matchup for these picks. I'm just looking at who I think actually can go the entire way. And yeah,
Wow.
I'm seeing rematch.
So are we getting a repeat then?
So I have a question actually before I say who would actually host this game. Philly has 55, LAFC has 52, so it would be in Philly.
Wow, back to back and opposite home and aways. Ooh.
So Philly gets their revenge in Ali Bedoya's last year. They send him off as a champion. There's champagne everywhere, and you and I go to the final. If this is in Philly, in this game, we're going. 100%.
I did fall in love with the city of Philly when I was there in March, April. So
if it's in Orlando, we're going for sure,
dude. If it's in Orlando, everybody's coming over to the house. We're having a party, right? We're having a pre-party. We're having a napkin party. We're having a
like if Orlando makes the final, they host it. You know,
Cincinnati is the only team that keeps us from hosting,
right? And you'd play them before you get to the final,
which we would, which in theory they wouldn't even get there. So realistically, and I keep saying this, right? I've been saying this, that Orlando, when we won the Open Cup last year, we hosted the whole way. We have a chance of hosting the whole way in these playoffs. Not saying it's meant to be.
This is weird. I don't see Sacramento in this bracket.
But it's
I don't see any USL teams in the bracket, actually. This is crazy. They must have missed. This must be a mistake.
That's like the one like stain on that Open Cup like win is that of course
you beat it against the USL team.
Of course, so, like, beat the USL team, right?
It doesn't actually count.
Yes, it does. Look, that team was good enough. That
was a good Sacramento team. To be fair,
they knocked off a lot of really good teams on that run. Yeah. So
they're a good team. They still are.
They were.
But by the way, if you're a soccer fan in general, check out the Sacramento San Antonio game in the USL Championship this week.
Oh yeah,
because that might be the two best teams left, and they play each other right now. And that's going to be a banger of a game. Absolutely, no doubt about it in my mind.
Wasn't Patino on that? I think there's like one or two Orlando guys, like old Orlando guys on that team. I don't remember, but. USL could be fun. Not to take away from the MLS, but
I think Jack Lynn plays for one of them, or he used to.
Jack Lynn? No, he's always been in Orlando. Shout out Jack Lynn when
no, he went on loan. I think it was last year actually. He went on loan to San Antonio, I think.
Maybe
because we played him. We played him because I owned his card.
And that's right. Yeah.
And I was like, no, this is cool.
Yeah, I remember texting you being like, "Yo, Jack Lynn's there right now. What's up?"
Yeah, his aunt asked me for tickets, and I was like, "Hey, I know who Jack Lynn is." She was like, dude, "Wait, you do?" Awesome. Yeah, no, I'm full MLS. So how many goals are going to be in this tournament? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
How many goals are going to be in the first
9,
round
10,
period?
11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So there's 23 games. We'll say like, hold on, I need a calculator here. Calc me out.
He said, so you got to think like best of 3.
So there's 23 games. Oh, well, that's true. We might not play all 23 games. Damn, now I got to go through and see what I think are going to go to 3 games.
Man,
well, let's just say 4 of them go to 3 games. All right. So let's call it 19 games.
You are breaking my brain with all those math right now.
19 games. I think it's like 2.3 goals per game. 44 goals. That's the answer.
44 goals, huh?
Scientifically proven by math. And
I
just won the MLS bracket prediction, by the way.
Yeah, okay. Well, you don't have Orlando City winning the entire thing, so no, you don't. Because this right here, my guy, is the perfect bracket, right? All right. So I agree with you here on the STL. No fighting Ben Olsen.
You love your fighting Ben Olsens.
I do love my fighting Ben Olsens. I don't believe that Vancouver could beat LAFC.
No.
Again, I do think that they will.
I think that and the Philly New England are probably the two easiest in the first round.
Yeah, I do feel that, like, look, Vancouver is decent and they're good. Takaoka is fine, I guess, but they're not going to be able to last 3 games against LAFC's attack.
Ryan
Seattle,
Gold.
Brian White. All right, it's Brian White's team. All right.
Yeah.
Put some respect on his name. Look,
Ryan
Seattle
Gold
Dallas.
is the Scottish Messi.
So they say. Seattle Dallas. Yeah, it's up in the air. I think Seattle, just with the talent that they have, they'll just always get the upper hand on Dallas on there. Continuing on. I had to do it, man. Ben Olsen's all the way. I say they upset St. Louis. They go to St. Louis. They get it done.
You've not been an MLS fan for long enough.
No, it's okay. It doesn't matter. They have Hector
You've
Herrera.
not seen the Ben Olsens I've seen.
Ben Olsen didn't have Hector Herrera, okay? He didn't have Hector
That's
Herrera.
true. He had Wayne Rooney.
Exactly. We all know how that ended up.
Yeah, they lost in the first round of the playoffs.
I
was there. I know. Twice.
I have Seattle.
They did it twice, too. They lost to Columbus in penalties, and then they lost to Toronto at Toronto.
I hate Wayne Rooney for multiple reasons, which we won't bring up on this podcast, because I'm sure you already know.
How dare he do that to Frederick Briand? His name is literally brilliant, and he left him behind.
Well,
terrible.
Sometimes you just gotta, you know what I'm saying? I do believe, even though I've been down on Seattle all year, that they will beat LAFC.
That they're going to go all the way to the final.
Yeah, they will go all the way to the final, because I don't think that Houston can beat Seattle. I don't think they can. That game would be in Seattle. That game will be in Seattle, wouldn't it?
Yeah, Seattle's the 2 seed.
Yeah, not happening. It's getting there. On the other side, on the East, we got Orlando, Nashville. Obviously, Orlando's going to win. I do have ATL going over Columbus, though.
That's a bold pick, and I'm fine with it. To be fair,
it is
totally fine with it. And I think if that happens, I do think Orlando then moves on. You know, I think that's a better matchup for Orlando.
If this matchup happens, 100% Orlando is making it to the semis for sure, or the conference finals anyway. Love that, believe that. Over here, yeah, Philly over New England, you got to. Same thing. Mm-hmm. Cincinnati over Red Bull's going to happen. Same thing as you.
Might be close,
but Philly over Cincinnati, I do firmly believe that Cincinnati just ain't going to have the power to beat Philly. Orlando has owned Philly this year. We've proven that we could beat Philly. So I'm not too worried about that matchup again here at home. So, I got Orlando, Seattle in the final.
To be fair, if it gets to that matchup, I might pick Orlando again.
Yeah, you think Orlando over Philly?
If you guys if Atlanta knocks out Columbus, I think you got a really nice road. Like, I think you really do have a nice chance at making it.
That's why, like, it sucks, right? Because I look like such a homer, and of course I am. But realistically, if we can face Atlanta, because I said it when you were going through years, that against Columbus, I'm not the most confident that they won't just completely put a bunch past us. Right. Atlanta, though, I feel like it would at least hold our own. We do have a chance to win. And then after that, making a conference against Philly, we can beat Philly. We've proven that. So, yeah, I really don't see why they wouldn't make it to the final.
You're going to end Alejandro Bedoya's storied career in a champagne shower in South Florida.
The same way that Duncan McGuire ended Michael Bradley's career.
You're just going around ending careers out here.
Dude, we're just retiring people left and right. We're the Randy Orton of the MLS. We're just retiring people left and you like that?
Love
that. Dude. Just shout out to Duncan McGuire, who literally retired Michael Bradley. Like, he announced his retirement, but Duncan McGuire said, watch this.
You're not unrenouncing this at this point. Like, you're committed now.
Yeah, literally the next day he was already where's Bob Bradley at? In Turkey or some small little country like that, coach. And he left the next day. He was already out of the country the next day. Duncan McGuire said, see ya, sent him off with a bag of donuts and a coffee and said, see ya,
that was
buddy.
Sweet of him.
Yeah, very sweet.
What flavor were the donuts?
Oh, you got to go strawberry frosted all day.
Strawberry frosting?
Yeah, the Homer Simpson donut. Yeah. Listen,
yuck.
Listen.
I've only had a Homer Simpson one time in my life, and I like, why? What's the point?
Listen, I wasn't about them. I'm not really into sweets. I'm not a sweets person. But when you got kids, they love the pink sprinkles. They love all that good stuff. And you know what? When you eat the last couple bites, after a while, you go, you know what? This is actually pretty good. They might be onto something. The kids are onto something. All right. Yeah, Thor over here liking his donuts. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. But I do. As homer as it sounds, I do believe that Orlando City will take it all the way. They will win the whole thing in a perfect world.
And they get knocked out in the first round.
And that's why this show's over. Because you said that. Listen, I've been sick. I'm tired. It's late. Chris, is there anything else you want to talk about before we go? We got this great epic playoff preview. Shout out to everybody who was here commenting, doing all that fun stuff. Chris, is there anything you would like to say?
So are we how are you consuming the MLS playoff here? Like what's the vibe? Are you gonna like throw on like 4 different games on one screen? Are you gonna pick a game? Are you gonna go to Orlando, like to the match? Like what's the vibe? What does your playoff experience look like?
My playoff experience, going to all the home Orlando games, watching as many games as I can on as many screens as possible. I don't know. Listen, all right. We're gonna lay out some grievances before we get out of here, okay? J Vic, thanks for showing up. But all right, before we get out of here, all right, we're gonna have a little grinds my gears segment, okay? You want to know what really grinds my gears?
Okay, here we go.
All right.
We said show's over, and then we said nope, just kidding.
He just had to get going. Oh, buddy, let me tell you here, brother. I got something to say. Orlando's first playoff game was on a Monday night. Kill me. What the hell? We are the number 2 seed in the East. Why are we playing on a Monday night after a bunch of other games are happening on the weekend? All right, whatever. I can deal with that. Game 2 away in Nashville. The game's on a Tuesday, my guy. On a Tuesday.
Back to back? Or like separate?
No,
weeks?
the next week.
Okay.
Game 2 in Nashville. It's on a Tuesday at 9 p.m., right? Or 8 p.m. 8 p.m. I think it is. Yeah, but they're in the West, so it's like a little bit different. But like, whatever. It's on a Tuesday. Tickets to Nashville, flights right now are $40. I can't go because it's on a stupid Tuesday.
That's why they're $40.
And I'm
no
pissed.
One can go.
I am pissed. Because why is there playoff games for the new seed in the middle of the week?
Should have finished first.
It's just stupid. I can't go to Nashville. I gotta be tired at work the next day after celebrating massive wins in the midweek. Don Garber, what are you doing? You make all the games at the same time on Saturdays all season, and all of a sudden,
I bet you if you were playing
on Mondays
Messi,
and Tuesdays?
If you were playing Messi, that wouldn't happen.
Yeah, but Messi didn't make the playoffs because they're bad.
Oh,